All right. How we doing today? How we doing? Let's see. We should be good. I don't know why. I hate OBS sometimes because it just wants to be a little dick. A douchebag, if you will. Alright, we should be in there. We should be good to go, y'all. We should be good to go. Hey world, what's good? It's your boy LG. I am back with another one. I'm back. The return of the Emperor's Court is back. The return is back, y'all. I'm excited. I'm excited to get this going. We gonna get into it. So, for those of y'all that's just coming in, I want to say welcome. Let me make sure we got everything good over here. I'm just doing a couple of quick checks, making sure we live right now. Make sure everything looking good. Everything good. So for those of y'all that see this, if there's any skippage or anything, let me know. I don't care about that. What up, Ace? What up? What up? What up? How you doing, man? I hope y'all ready to get this going. I don't care about these ads. I know some of y'all gonna get ads, but I don't. All right. I hope y'all ready to get this discussion going, man, because I'm ready to talk my shit with y'all. I'm ready to talk my mess with y'all, man. I'm ready to talk, and we ready to get it going, man. For those of y'all that don't know, man, family and I, we moved into a new place. So we just been, I've been just getting everything upgraded slowly but surely. Y'all, I got my PC upgraded. The PC works. It's amazing. I'm telling y'all, I'm about to do another stream talk about my stuff, man. Like, man, I'm able to play like in 1440p to high refresh rates. Oh, it's so lovely. What's up? Yubi, how are you? Good morning. Good morning. Yo, I'm excited. I'm excited to talk these topics with y'all. I'm gonna move this over here. Got me a new monitor. I'm excited. I'm good. Like I'm about to get another one. This monitor is good. I like it. But yeah, it should be. Y'all should be able to hear me perfectly fine. Is everything looking okay for y'all? Everything looking good? Everything should be. Everything should be. I'm gonna make me another intermission screen and just call it the Emperor's Court podcast. Welcome to the Emperor's Court. You guys are now tuned in. LG. I am the Emperor of the Dynasty. Y'all go follow me on all my social media and stuff like that. And I don't know. I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it because we're gonna start with the big topic. So I guess we're gonna start with the title of today's video. And yeah, we're gonna get into it, man. I hope y'all got y'all whatever your drink of choice this morning. Oh shit. Wait. Damn. I was expecting my ass was expecting tea and I forgot I put water in my cup. Oops. Oh well, either way I needed it. But in all seriousness, I want to make this video, and like I said, I appreciate y'all coming in and talking with me. We're gonna get back into the content, man. I got a whole bunch of stuff that I want to talk about, and sometimes like it's really tough for me. Like I want to talk social topics, right? But there's times where I just don't, right? And a lot of times I don't like doing it, and several reasons why. But like I just find it. I don't say I find it hard, and I gotta make it clear to a lot of folks that I'm not scared of none of y'all, right? I ain't scared of nobody, right? I ain't intimidated by none of y'all. Sometimes it's just honestly it's a personal thing. Like it's draining because a lot of times when we talk these social topics, a lot of people are not willing to have a conversation. Like it's always. Like look at how a lot of when it comes down to social media and it comes to certain topics that come up in social media, look at how things go down. Like look at how everything unfolds. It's always somebody that has this, weird ass opinion about something, and they always got something off the wall to say. And this is with any level of social topics. We're talking even political too. So we're talking, the men versus women debate, black men, debate thing that we talk about, the black community that that we did dive into, that I talk about sometimes over here. Um, and me personally, as much as I want to throw my hat into the ring, I feel like it's just not worth it in a lot of cases. Why? Why? Because I've had my share of having these conversations with people, and it's not conversations. It's it's become more of, if you don't, agree with what I say, I'm not fucking with you type thing. It's, if you don't agree with my line of thinking completely, not, you can't even, in a lot of cases you can't even deviate one sentence from what these people think. It's it's an automatic death sentence. You know what I'm saying? It's an automatic uh it's an automatic, and what I mean by death sentence, it's, a social death sentence. It's, in some cases nowadays, folks are looking at taking your job, your source of income. You can't even, and it's even affected like the content creation space. Like, you can't even go in here and create content anymore without, if you don't have the right mindset. Look at the people right now that are popular in the gaming space, mind you, right? And y'all know I talk shit about the blurs and shit like that. I'm sick of these blurs that have the same mental capacity, the same talking points, right? Talking about they want diversity and inclusion. It just doesn't happen. I've talked about it before. I've made a video talking about how diversity and inclusion, in a lot of cases, it's a scam. It's when they talk about it, they're not really talking from a place of where they're genuine with it. They just want to see more people that look like them on screen, and they don't care how. They just want to hijack. You know what I'm saying? They're not. It's so many. It's too much. In other words, it's so much bullshit. It's so much hypocrisy. It's so much, and it's hypocrisy behind people that are trying to infect the space. And these are the same people that want to play gatekeeper to their fandom. But these are the same people, y'all, that are against gatekeeping. They're against all of these things allegedly, right? But then they are sitting here turning around and legitimately throwing out their own, putting up their own insecurities. They're trying to gatekeep. They're trying to do all of these things that they say that they're against. And this is just off of my observation. Like, I sit back and I watch plenty of people, because I do agree that, hey, look, we could afford to have more of us on screen. We can afford to have more of our stories be told. I've always said that. I've been in agreements with that, and anybody who says I'm not has never listened to me. But I also tell people that I'd rather it be good quality over these remakes and remixes. I've always told people that. Always told people that. But it's like every time I try to have these discussions with the people on stuff like that, and let's not get started on relationship topics within the black community, it's always an issue. It's always, oh, well, you can't, oh, you hate black women, or you hate black people, or you just don't want to see us succeed. What is wrong with y'all? Like, the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, I don't mind. And here's the crazy part. I have more in common with a lot of these people than they want to give credit for. I have Like I said, a lot of people don't care for a lot of the stuff that they do. Hey, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind it. I'm down for it. But what we're not about to do is we're not going to sit up here and play this hypocrisy game. We're not about to do it. I'm sorry. I can't, I'm not going to let that slide. Maybe it's just the Libra in me or whatever the fuck, but I can't just sit up here and let this hypocrisy slide while y'all sitting up here talking about, oh, well, this needs to happen and that needs to happen. And then, oh, well, we need more of us on screen. And at the sake of, oh, well, we're going to make fun of white people in the process. Like, what is wrong with y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is wrong with y'all? Oh, we're against racism, but yet you turn around and be racist. But don't let me point it out, though. I can't point that shit out because that will be a problem. Exactly. The problem is these people have self-centered, double standard victim mentality. Exactly. Spades, exactly. They think that they're oppressed every day. Like, I cannot understand how you wake up every fucking morning oppressed. Now, I'm going to make this clear. Right? I've been through some shit. Okay? I done been through people disrespecting me. I done been through some situations. And there's been times where the thoughts and, the situations have replayed in my mind. And I don't like it. So I don't understand how y'all can sit up here and wake up every morning and talk about how oppressed you are. Like, that's not a mentality you want to wake up with every morning. I don't understand this. And the crazy part about it is when someone tells you that you're not oppressed, you want to go off on these people, right? So I'm going to give y'all some examples, right? Shout out to the homie 13, right? I'm going to give you an example here of something that I see, right? I'm gonna give you an example. It's funny as shit, but it's an example nonetheless, right? Let me see if I can get my, there we go. Of course, it's the wrong one. All right, we're just gonna do this. All right, so black people making jokes about something we understand. Cocaine residue coming into white splain. Us. Now, don't get me wrong, this shit is funny. It's hilarious, right? But this is the crazy part about this right here, right? This is supposed to be making fun of white people, right? But if a white person said, hey, oh, you dirty this, or you look like an oil stain, or you look like that, we'd be so quick to sit up here and call them racist. But you're telling white people that they look like cocaine residue. Somebody help me understand what sense does this make? Right? And this is supposedly black indulgence. This is supposed to be people that are for us, by us. Allegedly. Right? But if I say something, I'm not black enough, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, this shit's funny as hell. This shit's funny. I laugh at this. I laughed at it when I saw it. 13 showed it to me. I ain't gonna lie. I told him this shit was funny. It was hilarious. It's funny. But if a white person comes in and says, "Hey, look, you look like this. You look like anything," you know what I'm saying? Y'all be so quick to sit up here and talk shit and try to get a white person fired. The minute a white person utters the N-word, y'all are quick to find their jobs. Y'all are quick to find out where they work, where they live, all of these things. Right? And this is why I don't I don't do that shit, right? Because this stuff, that whole, looking for people and doing all of this doxing and stuff, I don't agree with that unless it's absolutely, positively necessary. I don't. I believe the only way that would happen is if someone is utterly disastrous. And to be honest, that's last resort. Y'all out here trying to get people fired, losing their jobs over a difference of an opinion. And this is why people don't want to talk to y'all. This is why people stand 10 toes down. This is why you got so many blatant people right now. Y'all out here blacklisting people for a difference of opinion. Y'all, something wrong with y'all. But y'all can sit up here and talk shit about white people. And the crazy part about the shit is the same people that y'all talk about are the keys to some of y'all success. That's the part that gets me. Y'all want to talk shit about white people so bad. But then y'all be the first ones talking about, I need the job. I need this. I need to work. I need to make money. I'm trying to get where these people at. And you expect them to tell you. And it's not even just white people. Y'all make fun of Chinese people. Y'all make fun of Asians. Y'all make fun of I'm telling y'all, like, this shit is fucking stupid. This mentality is dumb. I have talked about it in several instances where literally blacks and Mexicans have gone at it. Blacks and Asians in the communities have gone at it. And I'm telling you, shit's crazy. Ain't nobody said nothing. But, oh, well, racism. Oh, well, blacks can't be racist. Man, shut that shit all the way up. Shut that junk up. Cut that out. Stop the cap for real. Because I'm telling you, y'all will literally, there's some folks I know that will clown people on a daily basis. You know, I had somebody that I was talking to in a Discord server. You know, I let her talk. You know, she was sitting there talking like, oh, well, you know, as you know, men are weird, men are this, men are that. You know, men are weird, men do these things, and I'm like, I get it. I understand that there are some weird men out there. I understand that there's some weird men out there. I will vouch for that. Right? I will vouch for it. And I will tell you, there are some weird dudes out there. But then again, you can't blame them either. Right? And women do that weird shit all the time. Yes. Women do weird shit too. Like, literally, have you literally sat there and think about the weird shit women do? Women literally paint their face every fucking morning. Covering up blemishes every morning. Some of them wear the most revealing clothing. Right? Wear form-fitting, revealing clothing. But then want to complain about attention. Now, if that ain't weird, I don't know what is. I just can't do it. Right? I'm not going to sit up here and say men don't do some weird ass shit. But at the end of the day, some of y'all ladies entertain the shit. Right? Some of y'all legit entertain the shit and then get mad when guys approach you. Like, you wear, if it's that bad for you, okay, if you don't want niggas staring at your butt, if you don't want guys staring at you, okay, cover up a little bit more. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Let's just call a spade a spade. Okay? Easy solution. You don't want people looking at you like that? Cover up. Okay? You don't want people looking at your body? Don't wear nothing revealing. Okay? You don't want people looking at your tatas? Okay? Don't wear nothing with cleavage. Wear a bigger shirt. Okay? I can't. I'm over it, right? Like I'm tired of this like of talking with it, because it's like, like I just can't do it. Like if it's that bad for you, right? If it's that bad for you, if it's legit that bad for you, please do what you need to do, because I know some girls that don't like the attention like that. When they don't want the attention, guess what they not doing? They not dressing up. They not doing nothing. They not trying. And there are some girls that just hate. They get that attention regardless, because they are that pretty. They are okay. It is what it is. Okay. If everyone's dressing a certain way and everyone's dressing regular, and you decide to dress against the norm, guess what? Folks are gonna look at you. If you walking out the house, right? If a guy walks out the house, everybody dressed like regular clothes with a regular t-shirt, whatever suit, whatever tie, whatever the fuck, right? Okay, if a guy goes out and wears an outfit from Kiss, with the white face paint, with the white and black face paint, with the studs on the shirt, the jacket, the platform boots, he's gonna get some attention. Because you look different. Okay? It's the same concept the other way around. And this is the reason why I don't like talking this shit, because these people, they don't understand this. They don't understand all of these things, and they don't want to understand. I feel like at this point, folks don't want to understand, and some folks just want to talk to just hear what they gotta say. But you say you got beef. What's the problem? I got beef. I want to say I don't want to see no one's boxers. Hey, you know what? I don't blame you. If you don't want to see somebody's boxers, hey, guess what? You ain't gotta look. What the fuck? Hey, I don't blame you. Spades, yeah, you ain't lying though. Look, Spades, you ain't lying. I'm not gonna sit here and say if you ain't got a fatty, if it's up for my pay. Exactly. Stop reaching for attention. Talking about I don't do this to get attention from men. Okay, look, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna stop some of y'all right now. Right? If you don't do shit for attention, don't post on social media. I'm gonna give you a second to let that sit in while I drink this water. If you don't want attention, don't post on social media. Keep that shit in your phone. Keep that one selfie in your phone with the rest of your other 999 takes with the same angle. You just tilt your head a different way. If you're not looking for attention, then don't post on social media. Because, baby, we all do it. Okay, let's just keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. That's a fact. Okay, if I didn't want attention, I would have never posted on social media. I would have never posted my stuff, any of my stuff on social media. My music, my lives, any of that. My graphic work, none of that. Would have never done it. But that's the reality. We all are looking for attention in some way, shape, or form. And once we recognize that, we can maneuver a lot better. Right? For whatever reason. Talking about I don't want no attention. Fuck out of here. Stop lying. Cut it out. Stop your lying. This is and it's stupid, because every time, and it's like, y'all ever like, and when you all have these conversations with people, it's always, oh well, if you, and I can tell you right now, this is if anybody sees this and they complain about it, the first thing, I can almost guarantee you, the first thing that's gonna be said, oh well, if if you don't like this, well, you broke. If you broke, just say that. Or, oh, it's always the ugly people that got something. Oh, don't get me wrong. I've said it a couple of times. And it's not always true. People say that shit. I've noticed people, I have to slow down saying that shit, to be honest with you. I have to slow down saying it. I'm gonna be real with you, because I've said it. I have to slow it down. Because a lot of times that stuff is being said. It's always being said. It's not the it's said to as an ad hominem. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, like I said, I'm not perfect. I talk my shit, and it sometimes it come out, it slip out. It do. But at the end of the day, I have to realize, that's why I take my time to listen to what's being said. Right? So when I attack someone's argument, it's on the basis of what's being said, not necessarily how they look. You get what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. When it comes down to certain things, you do recognize a pattern. We're not going to ignore that. But sometimes it's not always true. You feel me? Just because I tell women to hold themselves accountable for certain things, it doesn't make me ugly. It doesn't make me a incel. It doesn't mean I don't get any punani. It doesn't mean anything like that. Right? And it should never be that way. Like, I hate when people put that into shit that doesn't even make sense. We over here talking about gaming, for example. Like, okay, hey, look, stop using your race as a bait card in gaming. Oh, well, if you don't get no punani, just say that. Like, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? That has nothing to do with it. What the fuck? This has nothing to do with that. Like, oh, well, I'm getting punani, so I'm not gonna say nothing about it. Like, what? I'm gonna talk shit. Look, some of y'all, I'm not even gonna talk. Like, when we talk about gaming, I'm over here talking shit about girls in gaming. A lot of y'all women in gaming are casuals at best, which is nothing wrong with that, because I know some that are very good at what they do, and hey, they are in their lane. They are in their lane. That's fine. But let's stop talking about, oh, we need to see more of us in esports, and you don't even play the game. Talking about we need to see more of us in esports, but you over here making fun of the guy that's trying. We need to see more women in esports. Okay, well, start practicing. Let's get to it. Be the change you want to see. Oh, well, we need to have, you don't need to have women's only tournaments to be successful. I'm sorry. I've mentioned this before, and I'm kind of like going over stuff that I've mentioned before, but like, honestly, you don't necessarily need to have women's only tournaments for you to be successful, especially if you talk about an esports. That's another topic for another day, though. I hope y'all doing well. Look here. Hey, Rilla, don't do that. Let's not play that game, Rilla, because you know if I practice, you in trouble. If I practice, Rilla, you in trouble. You will not get a dub. It is sad. Natsu Fuji in the building. Natsu Fuji, what's up, man? Good to see you, man. This man, hey, I gotta do a quick sidebar real quick, because Natsu been going through it, man. Y'all need to check out Natsu Fuji, bro. Like, this man's music, like, when I'm not doing my music, he's one of the people that I listen to on a regular basis. Like, I'm about to take, he doesn't know it yet, but I'm gonna start taking one of his beats and start rapping on the shit, so that way we can get Natsu up there, because Natsu's been doing this for a minute, and he's been on there. He's been on it. Y'all, this man has been going through the ringer, y'all. For real. He's been going through some shit in the ringer, and I feel for him. Because I feel the same way. I've been going through some shit myself. You feel me? Oh, we just getting some topics out the way. That's all we doing. Ronan, what's good, man? I didn't want to ignore y'all. I'm just let me get in my flow. This is the Empress Court podcast. If you guys want to be in the podcast, let me know. This podcast right here, Empress Court, is more like, this is where I This is where I talk more of my social topics. This is where I talk. This is where I put my social topics at. And like I said, me personally, I don't like talking about this so much because, like I said, it's always one sided. It's always one sided. It's always one sided. Really, yeah, we gonna get you in there. Yeah, just type in that he's on everywhere. He's on Spotify, YouTube, all that, all that. Emperor's Court welcomes you, man. We gonna get. I'm gonna get back on my bully, man. We getting it back in there. These subjects, I'm telling you, this is the stuff that people want to blacklist me for this. I'm like, bro, look, I approach this as common sense. Like, if you don't want people talking shit about you, leave them alone. If you don't want people talking shit, if you talking about you don't like this type of attention, then don't go for it. It is what it is. And I think a lot of this shit is honestly, a lot of it is boils down to aesthetics, right? A lot of this boils down to they're doing this for the aesthetic. Because I I've seen a lot of this, right? A lot of people are doing this thing. It's an aesthetic thing now. Because I've seen a lot of girls that are, for example, that are getting into the sex work industry, or they don't really, they're trying to get into it, but they don't do it. They don't like, they want to change this. They want to do all of these little extra things, and they want to, do the bare minimum, but they want to have that look. You know what I'm saying? Because the other day, and let me better break this down for y'all, right? I was following somebody, a couple of people that I follow, or that I happened to come across my feed, rather. And I noticed that they started dressing a certain way, right? I noticed a couple of cosplayers that would, they, or girls that go the cosplaying route, that do the modeling and cosplaying route. And a lot of them start to try to do this sex work thing. They try to do the OnlyFans route. They try to, get the stripper heels and the outfits and stuff like that. With some of them, go that route with the controller in their hand, and a lot of them will never step foot in the clubs. They will never, they barely do their OnlyFans. They barely upload anything, or the stuff that they upload is lewd at best, right? And I'm not saying that there's a market for it. I'm not saying it can't be successful. But like, for those of us that are in it for real, it's almost a slap in the face. Because a lot of y'all do this shit for the aesthetic. And the same thing could be said about gaming, right? A lot of these people, and I mentioned it earlier, are just gaming for the aesthetic. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that gaming isn't for everybody, because I'll be the first one to tell you that it is. But when it comes down to it, just be honest with yourself and say that you're a casual. Right? If all you know is Super Mario Brothers, then hey, I'm telling you, ain't nothing wrong with it. Right? If all you know is Super Mario Brothers on the NES, if that was the only game you played back in the day and then you grew out of it or you started doing other things, that's fine. I respect it. But for those of us like myself who've been doing this our entire lives, some of us have gotten damn near beaten up for it. And I'm not saying that as a badge of honor. I'm just saying because that shit actually happened to some of us in here. Especially if you grew up in the black community, where if you don't play NBA Jam or NBA 2K now, or NBA Live at the time, or maybe Mortal Kombat, you were ostracized for it. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm wrong. And then we can go back and talk about it. Madden, exactly. That was the other one. Oh, Madden. Oh, wait. And here's the crazy thing about it. You couldn't be too good at the game. Tell me I'm lying, y'all. You couldn't be too good at the game. Because if you were too good, it was a problem. You was getting your ass beat for being too good at the game because, oh, you was just a nerd. You was always in the game. But now it's cool. Now it's the end thing to do. Now it's the end thing to do. It's cool to do now. Esports is taking off, which hey, I'm all for it. But I'm telling y'all now, if y'all talk about competing, you gotta prove yourself, and that's the problem with us. A lot of folks don't want to prove nothing. Oh well, I just do this. You gotta take my word for it, especially within the black community. A lot of these black girls, this is why I say a lot of them are casual at best. Because guess what? A lot of them, they don't want to prove nothing. Because the minute you tell them, hey, look, they want to go in there and, oh, I've always heard this complaint all the time. They always talk about how they go into these groups and they always gotta prove themselves. No shit. Well, I got a quiz. I got a bit of a every time I get in there, I feel like I'm getting quizzed. No shit. Because guess what? You're not about to come in there and fuck up our shit. Now, granted, some of those dudes that be doing the quizzes do be bullshit. But in a way, it makes sense because you're not about to sit up here and fuck with my shit. This is my group that I created. Let me go to your apartment. Let me go to your room. If you live, some of y'all live with family. Let me go to your room right now. Come in your room and start fucking with your shit. Let me go into your apartment, kick my feet up, and start changing shit. You would swear up and down that I'm a terrible human being. But you're supposed to be open to everything. Right? So let me in your house. Let me in your apartment. Let me in your room. Let me kick my feet up. And let me put things the way I want to put things. No? Okay then you understand where people are coming from when it comes to their fandoms. Well, you don't own the fandoms. Well, guess what? We are a social group of people. We do this. We come together every so often. We built this community. This is our community that we built off this passion, whether it's music, gaming, whatever. And we want to keep it a certain type of way. We want to keep it a certain way. Nothing wrong with that. Right? It's understandable. Is it fair all the time? No. Can it be adjusted? Of course. And the crazy thing is, like I said at the beginning of this, they do the same thing. And these are the same people talking about, oh, we don't want no sweaties in our lobbies. I'm tired of people being sweaty. Da da da. Like, shut up. Get better, please. Well, I'm tired of these incels, these nerds. They, once again, the nerds again. And they wonder why people don't want to be bothered with you in this community. In their communities. This is why people have constantly complained about the nerd stuff going mainstream is a problem. Esports becoming a problem. Esports ain't the problem. It's the people in it. The stuff becoming mainstream ain't the problem. It's the people in it. Every time I turn around, it's always something in the nerd community that's a racist. That's a some kind of phobia. Like, it's fucking entertainment. Bro, I get tired of dealing with black folks when coming into that's new to the fandom. Like, bro, you out here talking shit about Dragon Ball Z. Like we ain't sit up here and made fun of Goku. We make fun of Goku all the time. But y'all out here trying to, oh, well, I can't believe that they Goku out here doing this, or, well, Goku's really, Piccolo's black. Like, we don't care. Like, we say that to be funny, but like, we really don't give a shit. Like, we don't care. Stop. And like I talk about the blurred community, I do a lot because like I'm a black guy that enjoys this stuff. Okay? But I am tired of these plebs coming through here and fucking my shit up. Y'all are doing this for the aesthetic. You just got here. Okay? You can come in here. You're more than welcome to come in here. But have a fucking seat. Go sit down, learn a thing or three, and then come talk to us. It's the same thing with the music. These folks coming in here thinking that they know music, that they know the hip hop game. Like, bitch, you don't even. Oh well, I don't. These old dudes, bro, don't even respect where you came from. I rush. Yes, Spades. Yes, you right. You are right. That's the way I see it. Literally how I see it. But I'm not about to play with y'all. But hey, I'm the villain. I get blacklisted for saying shit like this. Like, I'm not even like, I get blacklisted for saying shit like this. Like, it's so dumb. You know what I'm saying? Girls want to sit up here, black community. Oh, we want to be able to twerk on camera. We wanna throw it back for Hisoka. Why? Like, not everything has to have a hood reference to it. Jesus flipping H Christ, bro. Like, God dang, bruh. Like, I'm like, oh Lord have mercy. I can't with y'all, bro. Like, y'all out here wilding. Big time. Big time wilding. I'm gonna talk. Y'all know I'm gonna talk my shit. If you I'll even film. Right. I'll even film. I can't with y'all, man. I can't. And this is why it's hard to talk with y'all, because I'm all for it. I know, hey, look, I'm with it too. Let me just be real with you. I'm with it. I'm with the shits, okay? I work in the industry. I do it. That's why I'm in the industry I'm in, because I enjoy it. It's fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy what I do. I just want the numbers to come up so that way I can enjoy it even more. I'm just saying. That's the way I feel about it. And I hate this. That's the thing that gets me. Oh well, if you're this, well if you're no, like, I don't have to just let you do anything. Well, if you really enjoy what you do, know I have a right to call out shit. I have a right to call out shit. Oh, these people using my videos, like the incident with Eric July, right? Eric July, that one guy that was sitting up here, I guess when they made that Magic the Gathering card, when they turned that one guy black. And the guy was crying over it because he was like, I've never seen people, myself, in Lord of the Rings before. And man, I almost wanted to roast that dude. I'm tired. I couldn't help it. I was like, bro, you gotta be, you only see validity in yourself through white characters, through remakes, hand-me-downs. Meanwhile, there's people out there making their own stories, and you blind. Ray Charles. To all of it. You can't see nothing. Come on now. You got people like Natsu Fuji out here making hits. Y'all don't want to see that. Myself, we out here making hits. Mixing hits. Y'all want to see that. Ace of Spades out here creating fire content. You don't want to see that. Ronin, Dark Riddler, Disparity, making some hits out here, doing their thing. Oh, there it goes, and that's the bet I wanted to see. Yeah, hey, and that's a shame that we have to keep it to ourselves, because there's nobody that's willing to have this conversation. That's sad. Tansau in the building. Shout out, man. Shout out to Toward a sensei in the building, man. Stephen A. Smith. You know what? Stephen A. Smith got some weird ass takes sometimes, man. His takes be all off the wall. But you know what? I got to give him credit for at least speaking up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of Stephen A's takes I don't like. A lot of his stuff, I'm like, bro, I'm like, all right, bro, move out the way, Stephen. But he's good though. Tensile in the building, man. Speaking of which, Twitter Sensei in the building. Tensile, man, we got some art coming up, man. I got an animation on the way. I got some more art. I'm gonna get some more art commission from him and 13. I gotta commission some art from 13 too. But you got people in here that are doing things that are great people that happen to be black. They're not leading with their blackness. Some of y'all need to take notes. Just saying. Because people look at me crazy when I try to explain stuff, even with the stuff with Corey Extension, the stuff been there, so much going on in the content creation sphere. Yes, exactly. That's the thing. That's the crazy part about it. But nobody wants to have that discussion. So, I'm still going to talk about it, though. With certain people. Certain things I'm just going to keep to myself. Because at the end of the day, or I'm just going to keep it on my podcast. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to let y'all say what y'all think. Right? Y'all worried about, y'all can sit up here and keep that, you can keep that shit, you can keep that little circle jerk BS to yourself. You feel me? Yeah. Corey Extension is a big content creator. He's also worked with Dashi. He's worked with Dashi XP often. Bigger YouTuber. He's been around for a minute too. You know? But yeah, so we got to get into that. Like we really got to start talking more, like honestly, and I think the only way things are going to get better, honestly, is if we are willing to have the uncomfortable conversation. I think that's the only way things is going to get better for us, is if we are willing to listen to the uncomfortable conversation. We are willing to listen to, even if it's something that we may not agree with. We may not even like it. But guess what? Everybody has different experiences. And I try to be open to other people. I do. It's not always easy. It's not. Because sometimes it does feel like an attack sometimes. I get it. I feel it. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. There are obvious censorship. And it's in some cases it's obvious being shadow banned, with platforms giving unfair advantages to certain people or certain people. If you say a certain thing or if you do a certain thing, it's not family friendly. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be, that's okay, but we gonna find workarounds for it. We gonna find workarounds. That's what we do, right? And if one of us busts through, guess what we doing? I'm pulling some people up. When this dynasty blows up, I'm telling you. Let me get up there. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. Riddler, Tansal, everybody, Natsu, everybody that's in Dynasty for real and that's serious about it. Oh, we in there. We in there. People that I know, we coming up. That's why I bust my ass every day for shit, bro. I'd rather do this than clock in anywhere because I enjoy what I do. But it's all good. It's all good. We gonna get there. I think we gonna get there. It's just that once we break through this, once we break through the uncomfortability, we got it. Hey, you can make your jokes. Do your thing. Call me what you want. Say I look like this. Whatever. That's fine. But when the truth start coming out, don't get mad. That's all I'm gonna tell you. All right. So y'all also before I get into this, I want to say real quick, y'all guys like this so far, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub if you're new, share this around because folks need to hear this, especially people within our communities. We need to hear this. They need to listen. They gotta hear. He who hath ears, let him hear. Speaking of church, the Bible, I feel this is a good segue. So, for those of y'all that don't know, I'm a fan of Gothic Gothics TV. And I'm going to, for those of y'all who don't know what I'm talking about, I will gladly show you who I'm talking about. And yeah, we gonna get into something, right? Cause I wanna show y'all. This is Gothics, y'all. For those who don't know, y'all go up to her. She's cool people. She recently, she recently converted to Christianity, and I want to say within the past few months. I want to say definitely within the past few months, has made changes and recently converted to Christianity. And part of me is proud of her, right? I'm glad that she's, making changes in her life. First off, I also want to say congrats on, once again, I've told her before, and I'm saying it again, congrats on her marriage, her and Saul. And I'm happy for both of them. You know what I'm saying? And for those that know me, y'all know I don't, I don't fake my shit when I say I'm happy for people. I gotta make that clear because I've had to get in people's ass about that shit. Like I've had to literally tell folks, hey, look, bro, I don't do that. When I say I'm happy for you, I'm happy for you. Yo, what's going on, Lemon? How you doing? Well, good to see you. And she's gone through this transformation, and I, for one, I'm proud of her. But I'm very concerned about something, right? And I haven't really had a chance to sit down and talk to her about this, and hopefully one day we will, And what up, 108? Oh, okay, got you. I should have figured from the name, duh. But I'm concerned here, right? Because I grew up in church. Now, this is where my concern lies, right? I grew up in church and I left. And for those of y'all that know me long enough, know I had left the church some years ago. And I haven't looked back, right? I left the church for the same reason that I mentioned, that the reason that I don't like doing these social discussions, right? Not because it's a hard thing to do. Not because I've lost my faith, no. Because honestly, when it comes down to the church itself, a lot of it, the hypocrisy there, I feel is worse than it is outside. I feel like it's very hypocritical. A lot of the things that folks do in church, right? And for those who don't know, once again I grew up in church, and I left the church after an incident that happened some years ago, where my family and I had basically wasted 11 years of our life, in my personal opinion, right? I feel like the family and I, we went through some shit, and the church that was there, the church that we were at, they didn't appreciate us. They took advantage of us, and it was definitely one of those prosperity preachers that everybody talks shit about. They were always, the multiple offerings. They were talking about prosperity. They were living in nice houses. Our family was one of the more faithful ones. We were the first ones there, the last ones to leave. I was a musician in the church. At the first I thought it was a thing where it was better because the church I was at prior, they would make, they didn't allow me space to use my gifts. And I was at a spot to where I was able to lead, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I was being taken advantage of, and I didn't realize it because, I was doing Christian rap there. I wasn't getting a lot of support, right? But when it came down to it, yes. So Spades, you remember, because we talked about this before. And so it got to a point where everything came to a head. Like I felt like I wanted to go out and branch out. You know what I'm saying? And they would try to use tactics that would be considered gaslighting now to, to try to keep me there. Like, oh, well, you really don't have to leave. You don't really have to go. Like, we'll do whatever we need to do to support what you got to do. They wasn't supporting shit. An album I did over 11, 12 years ago wasn't there. No support. Hardly ever any support. A lot of the shit I did myself. Right? And come to find out, it got to a point where a fight broke out between people in my church and us. Because at the time, my mother was married to my youngest sibling's father. He was a minister at the church. Come to find out, he was being disrespectful. Like, it was wild. Like, they was letting him get away with shit. Because, like, my mother called him in some shit. Right? And I'm just being a little transparent. I'm not going into full details. But, like, he was disrespectful to my mother. Like, just, it got to the point where, like, it was damn near abuse. It was abusive stuff. And, we would talk to the pastors about it. My mother would talk to the pastors. And there was times where I tried to talk to the pastors about certain things that I had issues with concerning, him. Yeah, they covered for him. And come to find out that they was using some of that shit for their sermons too. So, my brother was going through some shit. They was using that for sermons. They was overlooking things. They was trying to, do things to keep us in line. But it was just, trying to make examples out of us. Like, it was just a overall shit that shouldn't have never happened in a church. And one of the things why I don't like that shit, because a lot of times when it comes to church and it comes down to things like that, yeah, it was controlled. And I can't, biblically speaking, these people should be held to a higher standard, right? The Bible even talks about those who abuse their power, that they should be judged worse than, the people that they control. Now, granted, now my we're in a different church. Well, she's in a different church. I no longer go. Okay, I no longer go. My mother went to another church. The church that she's at now, she's a minister, because my mother was like, okay, she felt like she was called to be a minister, right? They didn't let her at the old church we was at. They kept trying to give her the runaround. My mother's a minister at the church she's at now. So I'm happy for my mother on that. You know what I'm saying? And, me and my mom kind of like, butt heads about this every so often, because she's like, you should go to church. You should be at. I'm like, Mom, look, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I just don't want to do it. So my concern when it comes to Gothics, right, is more along the lines of, I want her to be careful, because now she's in this phase of, the new convert phase, right? Where she's like, yes, this, and yeah, I'm, she's in, in the word, which is good. My thing is, I don't want it to become to the point where she gets controlled by where she's at. Because, and here's the thing, and there's a lot of things that me personally, that I've, even though I no longer go to church, there are certain things that I've kept church-wise, right? There's one of the biggest things that we all talk about, everybody talks about, is the golden rule, right? Do unto others that as you would be done unto them, right? Bible also says, be not deceived, God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man sows, that shall he also reap. That is something that is literally stuck with me for years, right? For years. That's why I try to be patient with people. And when I do speak on stuff, it's literally stuff that's been presented. That's one of the things that I've carried, right? And one of the things that also that I've kind of like looked at church-wise, right? Because this is one of the things that I started questioning. I started questioning a lot of things in church when I was like younger anyway. Because a lot of people would tell you, well, lying is a sin, right? And Bible talks about lying being a sin, and this, that, and the third. And if people read the Bible, there's a whole lot of stuff that happened, especially within the Old Testament, that I understand where people were coming from, where it says it seems like a contradiction. It's really not, but I can see where people say it. One of the biggest stories that I remember to this day, and then I kind of keep in the back of my mind, is in the Old Testament, the children of Israel, they had the 12 tribes of Israel that were, traveling around. They were carrying the Ark of the Covenant and all of that. They were going to their promised land. And during this time, they had a tribe of warriors, right? They had a tribe of people that were warriors in their camp, okay? So, actually a couple of stories, but this one in particular is the first one that I kind of like. It struck me as odd. And I'm kind of paraphrasing it because I don't remember off the top, but I do remember the impact it's had on me, right? We're talking about lying being wrong. And the children of Israel, God sent out 2 spies. For those that know the Bible, there's this part where they sent out 2 spies to go survey the land, right? A land above that they was about to take over. 2 spies got sent out. And the city that they went to, people heard about it. And they were scared. And they were like, hey, look, we heard that the children of Israel, they're coming to take over our city. And they sent some spies in. So the city's on high alert, allegedly, right? The city's on high alert. So the king sent their people out. They're checking everybody in the city. And they're basically going through house to house in the city saying, hey, look, the children of Israel, they got their spies here. If y'all see them, bring them to us so that we can take care of them and get them out of our city. And y'all know what that means by that, right? So, children of Israel are in there, but there's this one woman. She was a harlot in the city, right? She heard about the things that God's people have done, and she wanted to be a part of it. So what she do? She finds out that they come to her, right? They come to her city, or they come to her house, in the city, and she's talking to him, and she's like, hey, look, I got y'all. I'm like, hey, look, I heard about the things God has done for y'all. I want in. Basically, I want to be a part of this. So when they hear about this, the people that's patrolling, they come to her house, and they're like, hey, look, we heard that the people, children of Israel, are here in the city. Have you seen them? She hid them on the roof. She lies and says she hasn't seen them. She literally lies and hides them and says, hey, look, I have not seen them. And misdirects them the other way. For that, she says, look, since I've hid y'all, I want to be with y'all. I want to be, because I know about what y'all God has done, and I want to be a part of this. I want to be involved. I want to be in. They tell her, look, when our tribe invades, what you need to do is have a scarlet, either a rope or like a blanket or something. And like I said, it's like a scarlet thread hanging out the window. So that way we know when we infiltrate the city, we know to spare you. Because you've done this favor for us. If you don't follow those instructions, we will not be responsible for what, we held responsible for what happens. So if you have that thread hanging out the window, we'll spare you. She does. And of course, the story goes on. Basically, children of Israel take over that city, and they spell her and her family, and she's a part of that tribe now at that time, right? The biggest part of that story was she lied. Biggest question I've asked, and I'm sitting there reading this story, and I'm like, well, God, she lied. She literally lied to save not only your people, but she did it to save her family. She wanted out the city. So if lying is so wrong, then why is it being used here? Right? And that's where I came up with, and I started realizing that, hey, look, it's okay depending on the situation. If it's to cover yourself, sometimes you gotta lie to cover yourself. Sometimes you have to lie to protect your family, to protect, whatever it is, right? So when people start saying lying is a sin, that's why I start bringing up people. I'm like, is it really? Is lying really wrong? Because I bring up that. And I tell you, when I tell you I've shut people down just off of that, or people have like, well, you see, well, no, it's not. Because if lying is wrong, period, then she shouldn't have lied. But she did it for a reason. It's okay to lie when it's to cover or protect, or if it's to show favor. And that really was one of the things that showed me. That was one of the things that shown me that, hey, look, in this world, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. That's what was shown to me, right? Now, people also don't understand that people like, oh, well, God is this nice and gracious God, which he is. But y'all don't realize that God was the original gangster, right? If y'all look, once again, the Old Testament, right? Now, there's a lot of rules for certain tribes, in the children of Israel, right? A lot of rules that the tribes couldn't do. Certain things were for certain people, right? For example, if you weren't a part of the priestly tribe, you could not touch the Ark of the Covenant, right? Which was where the Spirit of God was kept in the center, where the essence of God was literally kept. If it wouldn't have mattered if it was failed, because the Bible talks about that too. There's somebody that wasn't a part of the tribe, the priestly tribe, saw the Ark of the Covenant was about to fall. He went to go save it, and he ended up dying in the process. Okay, all of these rules, right? All of these rules. And one of the rules was sometimes when the children of Israel once again goes out and they take over the land, sometimes the directive was to not take anything. Don't take any spoils, right? Because it was unclean. Don't take any spoils, right? One guy disobeyed. One guy said he couldn't help himself. He took, once again, I'm paraphrasing, he took some spoils from the battle that he wasn't supposed to. So they started losing. The children of Israel started losing. They were figuring out, well, what the hell's going on here? Why are we losing these battles? God gave us these battles. We're supposed to be winning. What the hell is up? So they go in their little chamber, they're talking to God, and God says, hey, look, somebody disobeyed. So what they do, the children of Israel, they literally go find out who disobeyed. They find a guy. And not only they get rid of him, they take him and his family, entire family line, and burn his family at the stake for disobedience. I'm gonna let that sink in for a minute. Can you imagine as a little kid, right? Just imagine a little kid. You over here playing with your buddy, you playing with your cousins and them. And you out here playing, in the children of Israel, like you out there in the campsite just chilling. All of a sudden, you tied up at the stake, burnt alive because your daddy did something he wasn't supposed to do. Ain't that some shit? And people want to talk about God's grace and mercy. I'm like, bro, y'all tripping. Like, he is graceful and merciful. Let's not get it twisted. But there are certain things that even God don't play with. But my concern, once again, for Gothics when it comes down into this is I honestly hope that she doesn't get into that phase of, or she ever gets into that part where she forgets to question things, or to not question things in a bad way, but to question things to get an understanding. Right? Because there's been a couple of things, like I've seen a little bit of her content, right? There's been a couple of things that she's talked about where I'm like, I don't know. Right? Like, I'm going to use this one for an example, right? So So I'm gonna use one for example. This is the one where I was kind of like, I don't know, right? Where is it? Where is it? I'm gonna go to my workflow here. This one right here. Let me pull this down. This is the one where I'm not gonna go too much into the video, right? But her comment says, if our response to insults and abuse is to be insultive and abusive back, are we any better? Coming from experience, clapping back isn't effective as it is to respond with humility and kindness. No, this doesn't mean you should be a pushover, and it doesn't mean you need to engage if you don't want to, but a little self-control to not reciprocate the nastiness goes a long way. And she puts the Bible scripture of, if you love those who love them, what credit is to you? Even sinners love those who love them. What credit, basically loving those who hate you, right? Now, I'm going to disagree here on principle, right? Because by that logic, right, she's not completely wrong. You do want to show compassion to everybody, right? But sometimes there are certain things that God himself doesn't forgive, right? There's things, you have to look it up. Don't take my word for it. But there's a Bible scripture that talks about there's certain things that God himself doesn't forgive. One of the things is blasphemy against, his son. I think if memory serves me correctly. So just on that alone, right? There are certain things that God himself don't play with. So why is it that we have to sit up here and take everything? Take blatant disrespect, take things that we ourselves don't, that we know that we wouldn't take. Right? And this goes back to treat others the way you would want to be treated. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying clap back at everybody. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying to clap back at everybody, but hey, there are certain times where, hey, look, bro, you're not going to sit up here and keep running your mouth on me. You're not going to keep accusing me of being a istophobe and causing me to lose my job or causing me to lose out on opportunities because you want to sit up here and gossip on me. No. And I will handle it as necessary. Right? That's one of the things that I don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not wrong to a point. I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she isn't wrong to a point, but some people got it in their head. It's the internet. They can say whatever they want and they think they're untouchable. No, I agree. I totally agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Once again, that goes back to Bible says, be not deceived, God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man sows, that shall he also reap. That's a fact. And that's a universal law. You don't even got to be a Christian to understand that one. Right? And this is where, like I said, this is where I personally get kind of like about. You know what I mean? And that's where my concern lies. Is that I don't want her to be one of those Christians that use the Bible verse for everything. Like, you can't even talk to them about regular stuff. Yes, I am, Gothics. You already know it. Yeah, Gothics, how are you, love? I hope you're doing well. Yes. But no, on some real stuff, like, and like I said, this is coming from somebody who came from church. Like, when I tell y'all, I could have been a youth minister at one point. I could have. I chose not to because I'm like, I didn't want to be locked up into that. I didn't. I'd rather, be the light on my own. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be the light. I'm still going to be the example of God regardless. Yeah, we definitely need to talk. We got to. We have to, Gothics. We have to. We definitely will be talking. Like, because there's a couple of things like, and here's the other thing that I don't like about church folk, because they've demonized stuff that is natural. It is natural to have sexual desires, okay? Some people got more sexual desires than others, but it is natural, especially as a man, for me to have sexual desires. Okay, I am a visual. Men tend to be more visual, and I'm sorry if I see somebody that looks nice, I shouldn't have to feel bad for wanting to shoot my shot. I shouldn't have to be like, oh well, I'm a sinner because I like the woman. Huh? I got time now. I got to stream at news, so I can't be long anyway. Yeah, we could. You know what? I was gonna do my. I was gonna just do my little part, but yeah, we could do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk. Let's get to it. That's like I said. We gonna get to my concern. Let's do that. Where are you at? Where you at? Are you at? I think are you an hour ahead of me? Right? Because it's 10 o'clock for me. Because I don't have Discord. Oh, that's right. I'm trying to get there, man. I'm trying to get like you, Natsu. Natsu, you famous, dog. You famous. I'm just trying to get the money, man. I'm trying to be like you. Yeah. What link are we gonna use? What link are you using? I got you up on a. I'm trying to get like you, man. I don't know if this is all Christians, but the ones I've conversed with look at the world very black and white, and regardless of the gray. I try showing, they put me down. Yeah, that's the problem I noticed too. There's a lot of gray area stuff that just it just has a right to exist. And like I said, after stuff that I started realizing things, you know, like I said, Gothics, you're on the way in. I'm on the way out. Like I'm already out. So that's my thing. We gonna hold to that. So we actually gonna talk. I'm actually surprised. I'm actually happy that we're gonna do this. Oh, Brave. Oh, that's a new Brave Talk. Use my microphone. I think we're doing this right. I hope. Okay. This is new. Okay.
Yow.
Yo, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly fine.
You just gotta check the icon at the bottom. There's like a little mic icon.
All right, can you hear me now?
Unmute.
Can you hear me now? Mic check, mic check. Where? I can hear you perfectly. Oh, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, there we go.
Am I echoing?
No echo.
All right, cool. Hey,
All right.
man, you talking shit. Damn, I'm watching you. I'm like, sheesh.
Hey, you know I'm gonna back it up though. Hey, I said it. I said it. So I'm gonna back. I don't know how much did you hear. I'm gonna be honest.
I heard a little bit of your backstory, and then I had to. So you went to church. There was drama at church. People were hypocritical. And that's about all I heard.
Right. So very hypocritical. Right. So not only were they hypocritical, it was controlling. It was so that comment that you got about. Control, I legit face that. That's like, it's a valid argument. Like a lot of people that have that argument, I don't blame them for thinking that. You get what I'm saying? And throughout history, it's been shown that it is. Like to a lot of them, especially, well, a lot of people don't understand that there's a difference between Christianity and Catholicism, but people don't study, so that's something that when I was in church, I was like studying different religions. I was in there, just to get different perspectives of life, just because of pure curiosity. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. But in my case, in my family's case, a lot of it was control. A lot of it was being taken advantage of. And I just personally, when it came down to things that happened, like even with my mother, for example, when she was married to my baby sister's dad, there were certain things that was going on that was like borderline abuse that she went to go talk to the pastors and in confidence about, but they never addressed it. You know what I'm saying? They never addressed it, and they got to a point, it was so bad to the point where like a fight broke out. Like our last time at that church, a fight broke out on the parking lot. Okay. It was horrible. Like it's something that I wouldn't wish on anybody. Yeah. Maybe a couple haters or two, but not even. But Not even, right? So my thing for you, my concern was like, I'm happy the fact that you have definitely went this road. My concern for you is I don't want you to lose the ability to question things, if that makes sense. That was my concern from a Christian standpoint. Like the one of the things that I like about you is the fact that you question things. You know, even if there's plenty of other stuff that we know and agree on, but the fact that you're willing to question things and to understand where other points of view is something that one of the reasons why I enjoy talking with you and enjoy your content is because you're willing to say, hey, look, according to the research that I found, this is what it is. And I'm willing to have a conversation from other people that are involved in this and get their points of view and see what they are coming from on it. Does that make sense? So my thing was like, because a lot of people, when they convert to Christianity, and I've seen this where people have literally, they become that bright-eyed, bushy-tailed Christian, and you know, everything is God this, God that, and it's like everything is backed up by scripture, and it's like, well, what do you have to say? You know what I'm saying? And what do you, like, that's the point. You're supposed to apply that to your life in a way. You know what I'm saying? Now, even though I'm not in church anymore, there are certain things that I still apply to my life. That's why I talk my shit, but at the end of the day, I still let people, you know, have their experiences. I'm still willing to listen to what other people say. I want to, you know, Bible say we're not supposed to judge, but that's a lot. That's actually kind of a misnomer, because we judge every day. That's basically what we were created for, technically speaking. If you look back at it, when we grew, like the way we were built, like everything we do is a decision. Every decision that we make is a judgment. If you think about it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the Bible, it says not to judge unfairly, like, or hypocritically. Like, if I judge, because we all judge.
Yes.
So, all right, let me with what you just told me, let me take a swing at this. From what it sounds like, you, because you're talking about like your history in the church and all the drama, hypocrisy.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like you tried church. You didn't try God, because to say that people in church are hypocritical, that's a given. You're gonna find hypocrites everywhere. But your relationship with God should not be derived on whether or not other people are hypocritical, or whether or not, quote unquote, Christians get away with bad things. Because if we have faith in God, we have the assurance that He provides justice. So it's, you know, if someone gets away with something here and the now, it's like, okay, but I have faith in God and He's going to take care of it. He's on my side. So it sounds like that perhaps, because you walked away from the church, right? So
I walked away from the building. The building. Yes.
Yeah. So to me, it sounds like perhaps you didn't have that relationship with God from the get. I could be wrong, but it sounds more like criticisms about other people, and it's like, yeah, we suck, like I suck, and I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions about believers or the Christian faith in general, is they look at someone who takes on that label of Christian, they criticize them, and they say, well, you don't seem Christ-like, and it's like, okay, well, they can do whatever. Anyone can take the gospel and pervert it, but it doesn't mean that God is changing. It's just people.
Right, exactly. No, I put it like this. I'm gonna disagree with you on one thing, because like I mentioned before, it's not that I don't have a relationship with God Himself, right? And like I mentioned before, there are certain things that I do keep, right? Once again, like, you know, golden rule, just treating people with genuine respect, right? Even in my line of work, right now, because you know I DJ in the strip clubs, which actually, like I said, I enjoy doing it because it's fun. And my thing is, I still try to be a role model in a different way. I do things that move in a different way, if that makes sense. If someone needs some help, or say, for example, something as small as if someone needs a ride, you know what I'm saying? If somebody's going through some things and they need a ride, I got them. You know what I'm saying? Or they're going through a tough time at work. Hey, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to talk with you. I'm going to listen to you. I'm not going to, if you want to, I'm going to give my 2 cents, of course. You know what I'm saying? If need be. but I'm not going to, like as you said, I'm not going to judge hypocritically or unfairly, if that makes sense. And I think what a lot of, especially what a lot of Christians tend to do, is they judge in that way. They judge in that hypocritical way. They judge in that way that's, you know, or they do something wrong towards people, and they don't realize, especially leadership. The Bible even talks about leadership, like if you know, woe unto them that makes them stumble. You know what I'm saying? That causes someone to be a stumbling block. So that means in other ways, that means, okay, look, if I'm supposed to be a leader, and I'm over here causing you to stumble by, you know, not necessarily by my lifestyle, but like how I treat you. If I'm treating you like less than, and every time I think that you're getting on a line, then that's going to be on me. You know what I'm saying? And in some cases, I do believe personally that, you know, God uses people to get things going. Like a lot of people say, well, don't worry about it. Oh, you need to let that go. Let God handle it. But like, people don't understand. God's been moving through people to handle things. And sometimes, like I said, with Old Testament, and I know it's kind of weird, but like I feel like Old Testament wise, it's like there are certain things that like I mentioned. I don't know if you heard the story I was talking about earlier with the children of Israel, where they sent the spies with the 2 spies. I don't know if you read that part of the story yet.
I'm not sure yet.
Read that story in the Bible, right? Because a lot of people talk about, okay, you know, lying is wrong, lying is a sin, right? But I'm just giving you the paraphrase version. Once again, 2 spies going in a certain city. The harlot in the city hears about the children of Israel. She wants to be a part. She talks to them and she basically tells them, hey, look, I want to be a part of y'all. And, you know, the city's on alert because children of Israel there. And they hear they're in town looking, you know, trying to survey the land so they know how to attack and how to take it. King is like, hey, look, we need to find them and get rid of them, basically. So, once again, like I said, I'm paraphrasing this because that's not how they talked back in the Bible. So I don't have the thous and all that. You get what I'm saying?
You're giving not I said Leon. Right. I'm getting the black people mixed up. You're giving the LG, the LG
Leon. I am.
Synopsis.
Wow. You know what? Hey, somebody clip this and send this to Leon. I'm about to. We get mixed up again. But yeah. So basically, she's. You know, she basically bargains. The people come in, the city officials come in. She hides the 2 people, right? Hides the spies on the roof, right? Hides them on the roof. She lies and tells them, I don't know where they're at. They go out, they leave, find out the coast is clear, basically, and say, hey, look. She's like, hey, look, I did y'all this favor. I want you to save me and my family. They said, all right, look, bet you saved us. We appreciate you. When it's at this time, we're gonna hit the city up this time. When we do, I want you to have a red thread. I don't remember exactly what it was. I think it was something scarlet. Like it was something with scarlet on it. But it was like a scarlet rope or a thread hanging out the window. And that way we'll know not to hit your house. If you don't do it, we won't be held responsible. But at that time, we want you to, this is what we need you to do. In order for us to identify you and save you because you helped us, we're going to do this. And that's exactly what happened. So the biggest thing that I took away from that, it was like, well, wait, God, lying is wrong. Hold on. She just lied. She lied. There ain't no 2 ways about it. She lied. The harlot lied. You know what I'm saying? But she did it to protect. So I'm like, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, you know, God showed it to me. He's like, it was to protect. She lied to protect not only herself, right, but she did it for the children of Israel. So that was my thing. Is like, okay, well, and one of the things I learned kind of early was that in this life that people are going to do what they have to do. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it might be, once again, I think you mentioned it earlier, the gray area in life. You know what I'm saying? And that was where, like, I got my first taste of gray area type stuff. So I was like, you know, that's why I'm like, when people start saying, oh, the Bible is hypocritical, this, that, and the third, you know, I kind of see where a lot of people are understanding it from. But then a lot of people don't, you know, they don't take the time to understand that, hey, in this life, you're going to have to do what you got to do. Sometimes, hey, look, like that one post I just said that I don't agree with, because I've been in that position before. You know what I'm saying? I got people that make fun of me for my shit right now. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit up here. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and hit up everybody and be rude to every person that is rude to me. But there are certain things that I'm just not going to take. And I think that's natural. I honestly think that in the grand scheme of things, that's natural. if you
Sure,
will.
it's natural in the sense that it shows that people who do that don't have self-control. Don't take it the wrong way, but that's what I hear. Like when someone says, "I have to snap back. I'm not going to take this." Well,
Yeah.
why not? I mean, especially in the context if it's just the internet, what's
Mhm.
that going to do?
Mhm. Yes, you're partially right, but where the difference is where it starts messing with your job.
Hmm.
When we start, because now we're in that culture, we're getting to that point in culture where, oh well, let's find out where Gothics works at. Let's find out. Oh,
Hmm.
Gothics is going for this thing right here. I'm just using this as an example. But and you've had this happen, where people have
Sure.
closed their doors on you because of hearsay from other people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And at some point, you have to. I feel like in some point you have to defend yourself. You don't have to like allow for any and everybody to there are some things you let slide. Because it doesn't matter. And sometimes, hey, sometimes you just got to let it go. But at some point, there's things even God Himself won't forgive, and that Bible even talks about that. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
to me, that shows me that hey, look, there are certain things that we have to stand on. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
At some point. And I feel like there's no problem with that. It's not a lack of self control. That there are certain people like
Yeah.
on some things. It's like we don't know what people are dealing with on the internet. You
Okay.
know, like so. For example, if I see you go off on somebody, who's to say that you haven't been going through that same person for years? Now,
Hmm.
in your case, you'll probably you'll probably tell people, hey, this is a guy that's been stalking me, for years. He's been a problem in my, and thorn in my side for years. So yeah, hey, look, dude, you getting on my nerves. Calm it down. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes like you might do that. There's some other people that just won't do it, or may not have the capacity to do it. So that's where I'm like, hey, look, I give people that grace and be like, hey, look, handle your business. Once again, that goes back into the golden rule thing. You know,
Hmm.
treat people the way you're gonna be treated. I'm not saying clap back at any and everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But I'm just saying, hey, look, sometimes, hey, look, handle your business,
Sure.
bro. you know.
Yeah. I mean, uh with that in particular, like I believe like when I got canceled, right, from the
Right.
Black Twitter, the Twitch and all that stuff,
Right.
I attempted to defend myself and I uploaded a little letter and then I deleted that and then I cowered away for 3 months. And when I went back online, what happened? People kept coming at me. And eventually, what I did was I just spoke the truth. So
Mhm.
I think that what you're describing could be summarized as speaking the truth because if it's a matter of someone found out my job, contacted my job, and because of beef that I have online with this person, I got fired, is that really a place that you'd want to be working at anyway?
No, not really.
Right.
If they're willing
So
to listen to other people outside of you and they're so quick to fire you, yeah,
right.
yeah,
So
sure,
so in that context, what the act of trying to clap back in them because you're afraid of them taking away your livelihood, it's like, well, for me, that was already that happened, right? People
right,
unsubscribed, they blacklisted me, I lost support, I lost partnerships,
hmm
but I spoke the truth. And this is before I knew God. I just said, I know what I'm saying is right. I'm going
right,
to keep saying this thing. And
hmm
now look where I am. And I still don't know where the hell I'm going. But I have no
right.
idea where I'm going.
None of us
But
know.
the thought of what if this person gets away with dragging my name through the mud or whatever? If my family is in danger, that's a different story. And
Right,
there's avenues to take for that. But
right,
aside from everything else of someone just trying to call up a sponsor that I work with, I don't give a crap. It's
right.
like,
Yeah,
I speak the truth, let God handle the rest. It's
fair
so
enough.
that's my stance on it. I personally, I would encourage you to get back in the word. I really would, like, because it breaks my heart when people say that they walked away from the church and it's always because of other people when it's really God didn't do anything. He didn't do anything.
Of
I
course not.
I did hear you say briefly something about like how if you people that always quote the Bible and you want to know, okay, well, what do you think? Well, I think this goes back to if we acknowledge that there is a creator he sets the terms. So I can tell you what I think, but at the end of the day, it's his terms. And we have the free will to go against his terms or stay with his terms. But the Bible says, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments.
Right.
So that's really where my head is at. And some people may think that's extreme, like I'm just a sheep. But the reality is we're all sheep. The question is, who is our shepherd, is what I like to say. And that's how I live. So yeah.
No, here. No, I got to make sure I clarify this for you, right? Because
yeah, sure.
Once again, I haven't left. I left the church. When I see I left that church, I left the people alone, because I'm not dealing with that. Okay, I don't have time for the giving honor to God. Okay, going to church 4 to 5 times out the week. Trust me, I've been there, done that. I grew up in church where that's all we did. Okay, we every time out the week. And there is more out there. You know what I'm saying? Like and God has given us more out there. And we have, like I said, yes, we have certain things that we don't do. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna force nobody to do nothing that they don't want to do. Don't care.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not going to. But at the end of the day, if you ask me, hey, look, LG, how you feel about this church? Maybe it's just me personally. I'm just burnt out on going to church. I just don't. I don't feel like doing it. I just don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Not that I don't get into the word. Not that I don't know what God says. And once again, it's not that I don't keep. There's things that I don't keep. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, like I said, that atmosphere. Hey, sometimes I'd rather be left alone and build my own. That's the way I feel at this current phase in my life. Like when I wake up in the morning, like it's not that I haven't turned my back on God, right? I haven't said, you know what, God, you suck. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, well, actually, I ain't gonna lie. I've done that, a couple of times. Like, Lord, what the hell is this? Like, I talk to God like how I'm talking to you. Lord, what the hell? What the hell? Like, God, what is this? What is this? Like, what are we doing? Like, what is this? But like that's what it's supposed. Like, honestly, I feel like that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be more natural. And like I said, hey, look, and understanding, like, there's certain things that I like. There's certain things that, have a little bit more self control on. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's I agree with that. You know what I mean? Like I said, see, I think we're just in a different. Like I said, we're just in a different, disposition. If you, like I said, I'm out. I've been in there and I'm already out of there. But I've kept certain things. You're just, you was on the outside. You maybe went to church a couple of times. I think you said that a couple of times before. If I'm wrong,
I went to church one time, like 20 years ago, and they were celebrating Kwanzaa in the church. So already it was a red flag.
Yeah. So you were like, I'm good. I'm out.
Yeah.
So like, and this is you're going, and you're getting back. So you're just like, okay, you're going in bright-eyed, bushy-tailed with it. And like I said, my concern is like, keep that. Like I said, my only, and like I've always tell you, it's like, as long as you that, what makes you how God. Let me put it to you like this. I don't know how I'm gonna put this. Keep how God made you. Keep your discernment. Keep your discernment. That's something that you've had gifted already. And and I don't know if you caught that, but like, that's something you've had gifted already, and that's one of the reasons why I enjoy your content, is because you've had that gift already. It's just hasn't been. It's been manifested in different ways.
I hear you.
You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that help you?
Yeah.
So
no,
keep that.
I mean, I have discernment. I think I have more discernment now than I did before, because I'm still retarded, but I was very stupid before.
Yeah, I'm just not as stupid now.
Like I have a better template, a better roadmap than I did.
Right, and that's the thing that, like I said, keep that. Like I said, as long as you keep that and you don't lose that, like I said, that was my concern with you. Like, I just don't want you to get to the point where it's like every conversation, got this. I'm like, and I've dealt with that with church folks too. It's like,
sure,
can't even talk about the weather. Can't even talk about sports. Like,
we can talk about the weather. Like I also there, and let me also say this, and then I gotta go get ready because I gotta go on stream. I'm right out the gate as being a new Christian. I see how perverted the Christian faith has become over time. And this, I think, is the result of, and the Bible even talks about this, is that if you follow the world and you conform to culture, and it even talks about false prophets, it talks about false teachers, fake conversions. It has warned us about this, and I can see it. And before, I would just look at Christianity as a whole and base my assumption on it just because of what people are doing, and I can't do that, right? So right out the gate I see it. And then what I also see in culture is that everyone is so eager to talk about all the things that are going to lead to sin or death or whatever. Like, yeah, let's talk about popping mollies, let's talk about aborting kids, let's talk about getting high, getting drunk, like having a high body count. Yeah, that's all normal conversation. But you mentioned God, people bug out,
Right.
and that
Yeah.
that goes to show you how sick this culture is. So when I bring up the Bible, and I make a point to intentionally do it, knowing that it's gonna weird people out. It's because
Mm-hmm.
it's true. If I'm giving someone advice, like the video I posted the other day saying, there's no reason for me to clap back at random people. If I left a Bible passage out of that, most people would take that, with you as an exception. Most people would take that as like, you know what? This is sound advice. But if I add God into it, now they don't want to hear it. Why is
Right.
that? So it's the reason I bring up the Bible, it's because it's true. And all of the principles that I find to be the most effective, to bring the most unity, to bring to push the society into a better direction is from the Bible. Now, whether or not we want to actually hear those words and put them into practice, that's our prerogative. The Bible talks about that too.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
like,
Yeah.
are you going to build your foundation on sand, or are you going to build it on a rock? Like, which one?
Exactly. No, you're right. And like I said, a lot of it does come from Bible. Like a lot of it does talk about. But then, like I said, when you have that are trying to, for example, that try to trip about, let's just say, for those like not acknowledging, like I said, not acknowledging that certain things exist, and just like, oh, well, that's evil. Like, no, like there's a reason why certain things happen, certain things are in place, because guess what? We have desire. You know what I'm saying? Like
Sure.
certain things have a place to exist, and you don't have to like if you don't like what you watching on TV, guess what? You can turn the channel. You don't have to sit up
Sure.
here and be like, oh well, this is demonic. Guess what? At this point, it's getting to the point where it's blatantly obvious what stuff is demonically. A lot of people, like, yeah, it's getting blatantly obvious, and the crazy thing is, people are literally sitting up here like are pointing it out, but then they're still going to it. Like, so
Yeah.
what's the problem?
I
Like, so
think,
that's a people problem. That goes back into the people problem. You know what I'm
sure.
saying? And that goes back into like which one of the things I would agree with you about. Like, hey, it's a people problem. Like, bro, if you know better, like if you know if we grew up like a lot of people, especially with us in the black community, we church, and we have an idea of what's demonic. Okay, if
Hmm.
you know something's demonic or you know something is bad, why are you still doing it? Why are you getting caught up in it? I can't tell you how many times I've talked with people that I've like, I told people like they asked me for like in my job, line of work, oh, do you know any you got any weed on you? Like, nah, I don't do weed like that. Oh, that's good. You shouldn't do it. You gonna get or you don't smoke cigarettes. Oh, okay, you should get caught up into it like I do. And I'm like, well, if you know, like, I'm in the back of my mind, I'm like, dog, if you know it's bad, then why the fuck are you still?
Hmm.
Why, you got a
Right.
cigarette in your hand? Don't you shouldn't be doing this? Waving the smoke all in front of you, like all around you. Like, man, hey, you shouldn't be doing it. And like, you can't see me, but it's doing the thing. That cigarette in the hand, like one of these, and like you shouldn't be doing this, that, and the third. And it's
Sure.
like, like that's where I'm like, all right, bro.
Sure, but then
Eh.
I know that you DJ at a strip club too, so it's like, okay, that's a whole different conversation that
Oh,
we don't have
indeed.
time to talk about.
Oh,
But
indeed. We have to. Yeah, we have to do that. Like I said, we'll definitely talk. Like I said, I do it because it's fun. Like I said, I enjoy it. I enjoy the atmosphere. It's fun when
yeah,
done right. It's fun. Um,
sure.
you know, you don't.
Okay.
I can tell by that shirt you don't like. I don't care.
No, I don't. No, no, no. I think that falls
I'm
into
giving
like,
you a hard
yeah,
time.
we have desires. We have, and desires doesn't even have to be sexual. Your desire, you're saying that it's fun. But if we're going based on God's standard, it's not fun. It leads to death, right? Because we're sort of like enabling one of the in my opinion, one of the worst sins, which is lust, because people will do anything for lust. You know, like so you know, we'll agree to disagree on that. Maybe we'll have another conversation. You know, if you want to, I'm down whenever. But yeah, it was good talking to you. I gotta set up for my stream. I'm gonna do some Mario Party. Jeez.
I gotta switch now. I gotta get
Yeah.
on my Switch. I haven't played.
Yeah, get some Mario Party or Mario Kart. I suck at it, but you know.
I got Mario Kart. I got Mario. I
Okay.
I upgraded my PC.
Sheesh.
I got
All right.
that 1440. But yeah, you be safe.
Yeah,
Have a good one. Enjoy yourself.
have a good one. I'll send you my Nintendo ID or something.
All right, gotcha.
All right. Bye.
All right, Sean. That was Gothics in the. I appreciate you. All right, I appreciate it. Sad 1406. See you late, man. Amazing World of Gumball. Actually, it would be part 3 if I did another one. But yes, Riddler, you right though. This is when I get pissed off. Everyone makes claims they listen. When someone is going to hear me out of my views, which are facts are true. Yeah, no, I get you. Nah, that part I don't blame you. Riddler, you right. Like, see, that's what I'm saying. Everybody wants to listen till it's something that they don't necessarily agree. You get what I'm saying? I feel you on that. We're gonna have to sit down and talk about that. Yeah, big shout out to Gothics. Thank you so much. Yeah, we don't agree. Yeah, I'm in allegedly. But yeah, like I said, if that's the case, a whole lot of them. But I definitely appreciate y'all, and we are going to cut it here. I appreciate it so much. Riddler, you got a point. Yeah, and you definitely right. That not everybody has a fan base willing to go to bat for him. You know what I'm saying? That is true. It's true. Yeah, you shouldn't have to. I feel like honestly, at some point you shouldn't have to. If you feel like it's a limit for you, there's a limit going on for you. Every take. I personally believe you do. When I get judged for something, saying, make it clear what my intentions are. You know, all of that. So, you know, that's why I appreciate this, and definitely about to happen. But appreciate everybody y'all coming through. Definitely. Gothics, thank you again. Natsu in the building. Dark Riddler. Ace. Lemon. Wait, Dragons TV. Y'all go check out 108. Check him out. Ronan in the building. Thank y'all so much for coming through. 10 South. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Yumi. That's the other. Y'all so much. I should do these more often. I'm definitely going to do this. Like I said, I really don't. But anywho, y'all stay good to each other. Be willing to hear each other out. Be willing to talk. Willing to each other with respect. Catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.
The Dynasty